Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another WWE Reddit video. This is, of course, the series where you can submit your photos, videos, memes, questions, or anything related to the world of professional wrestling over on the Santi Zap Videos Reddit page. So if you'd like to be featured in the next WWE Reddit video, make sure that you check out the Reddit page. I'll put a link in the description for you. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know that you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And if you do want more than just the daily wrestling content that we upload here, go check out the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, we upload a bunch of extra videos and series that never get uploaded here to YouTube because we tend to use real footage over there, and over here that would just get blocked due to copyright. So go check it out. Link in the description or link in the pinned comment. All right, let's see what you submitted in this week. Breaking news, R-Truth released by WWE. So I'm sorry to start what typically is a more fun video series on such a sour note, but this is what the majority of people were submitted on the Reddit, and I understand it because this is a move that really shocked the wrestling world in general. I think many of us are just incredibly sad and bummed out by this news that TKO WWE chose not to re-sign R-Truth. And look, I understand that he is in his 50s, that he is not the top draw for the company, probably not the top merch seller. He isn't used in the biggest high-profile matches and feuds, but I just find it a little bit bizarre that a company like TKO can't find the value in somebody that has 17 years plus of experience in an industry that is so cutthroat that most people barely even make it to 5. Having somebody of the experience of R-Truth, plus at the same time being as beloved as R-Truth is by fans and by his peers backstage, that in its own is a wealth of value that you simply cannot buy. Well, actually, you can buy it if you had given him a new contract. If anything, it's a wealth of knowledge that you cannot fake and manufacture, and R-Truth brought that to the table. I can just sort of sense that right now as a wrestling fan, morale is as low as it's been in a while, and not necessarily because the product is bad. I still think that we've been in eras where the product has been significantly worse, but because we're starting to feel like the product is changing for the worse, and I feel like the release of R-Truth might actually be the death of the canary in the coal mine. I also just think that it's weird that TKO released him after doing the John Cena program. If you knew you weren't going to re-sign him, why wouldn't you make the John Cena program a loser leaves town match? That way, all of this anger and all of this sadness that we have wouldn't be directed at the company TKO. Instead, we would direct it at the wrestling character John Cena, who desperately needs some serious heat for us to actually boo him because this man is getting cheered across the world. To me, it just demonstrates a complete lack of story foresight on the part of TKO. I'm obviously going to miss R-Truth tremendously. He will be a giant asset wherever it is that he lands based on his experience and the character that he plays so well on TV. I would love for him to go to TNA and end up pairing up with Santino Marella. That duo would be absolutely iconic over there. It proves in modern WWE that there is no such thing as a lifer. You can give your entire career to them and they'll spit you out with not a care at the end of it all. Welcome to TKO WWE. I think this is just welcome to corporate America. This did go from a family-run business to now being owned by a giant worldwide conglomerate. This feeling of just being able to be spit out at any moment, this feeling where you're just a number at the end of the day, that you're just a decimal point in their bottom line. This is how most companies unfortunately are. I've been somebody that's been let go for financial decisions, and did I take it personally? Actually, yeah, of course. How can you not take getting fired personally? But at the end of the day, that is unfortunately how most companies, how most conglomerates ultimately operate. It doesn't matter what altruistic or what sort of personal value you might bring and what happiness you might bring to the employees. At the end of the day, if they don't see you increasing the bottom line, it doesn't matter that you were a lifer. It doesn't matter that you were there for 17 years. It doesn't matter who you are. If you do not fit their balance sheet, you are out. And that is the era that we're in with TKO. We are in the balance sheet era. And that's scary because now that means that anyone and everyone is fair game. I honestly felt that somebody like R-Truth is untouchable. And now we're talking about people like potentially The Miz not being re-signed. That to me is a scary corporate WWE that I never thought that we would be a part of. But here we are. It goes back to what I said earlier. R-Truth is the death of the canary in the coal mine. Now that the canary has died, anything and everything is up in fair game in terms of being released in TKO. WWE WWE has just lost their comedy. It's a shame too, because R-Truth and Carlito, who's also not being re-signed, were so good in their role. And here's what's interesting. These are guys that were being used routinely as characters on TV. Again, they weren't, your top draws, and they weren't having matches every single week or programs or having PLE matches, but you were using them. You saw the value in them. You saw the entertainment value that they brought to me and fans around the world. These are guys that were being given a job every single week, and they still found that they didn't fit their balance sheet. So now imagine how WWE superstars that are getting no TV time, how they're feeling, how concerned they might be when their contract is up. If my contract is up within the next year in the WWE, I'm trying to jump at the negotiation table immediately so that we can get a deal done, because I'm scared. Is TKO ruining the WWE? It really depends on what your definition of ruining is. For TKO, the WWE is the best that it's ever been. It's the most profitable that it's ever been. It's making these guys money hand over fist. They've turned it into this giant money printing machine with all of the direct revenue that they get from Gates, the direct revenue that they get from like places like Netflix, the CW Network, USA Network, the revenue that they get from all of these sponsors that they're getting left, right, and center. They're making more money than ever before. So for TKO, they're not ruining WWE. They're making it into a very, very successful business venture, a business venture that they spent a lot of money on. Now, for fans, for me and you, the product is naturally going to become a lot more soulless. It's going to become a lot more diluted. It's going to become a lot more sponsor and advertiser friendly. This is why they're asking fans to not swear at shows, because sponsorships, man, I'm somebody that works with sponsors a lot on this channel, and there's very, very rigid guidelines and parameters that you have to meet. And now we are going to be witnessing a product that's going to have to live and breathe by those parameters, and inevitably somewhere that's going to hurt the product that we love. They're going to have to target the product at a more general, wider, lower common denominator set of audience and set of eyeballs, so that they can make as much money as possible, keep sponsors friendly, but in the process, the ball game that you and I love is going to change before our very eyes. But hey, good for them. They're going to be as profitable as ever before, which does mean that we'll probably have WWE for years and years and years to come, and that's gonna go absolutely nowhere, but it might just not be the thing that you grew up and knew to love. Here's Sean. Boom. Oh my God. Oh, you got me good, brother. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh!
Oh, you know it.
Spear! Oh! That was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at a match between the two most hated men in wrestling, Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan, in a bloody anything goes match at WrestleMania 19. We're going to Royal Rumble 2024 to see the match between Roman Reigns, LA Knight, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles for the Undisputed Championship. We're looking at an indie gem between Adam Cole as NXT North American Champion going up against Gunther. The super kick heard around the world, because we're going to be looking at Shawn Michaels versus Shelton Benjamin from Raw in 2005. And the high-flying classic between Hijo del Vikingo and Rey Fenix at Triple Mania. You're going to get this, plus the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, and a whole host of other series that we can never upload on YouTube because we use actual real footage that we just get blocked on YouTube due to copyright problems. So come check it out. It's patreon.com/SantiZap. I'm confident that if you even try for 1 month, that you're going to fall in love with all of the daily content that we upload there, plus the community that we have there as well. If you're already a patron, thank you so much for your support, but now let's get you back to the video. Please know I'm not ready for another legend to be released. Breaking news, The Miz has unfollowed WWE and removed all mentions of WWE in his Twitter/X bio. His WWE contract does expire sometime this year. Wow. So as I said, R-Truth being released, Canary in the Coal Mine, you've already heard me say this before, if it goes Truth and then The Miz, brother, we're not talking about the canary in the coal mine. We're talking about the entire species of canaries just being murdered in front of our very eyes. Because if The Miz gets released, somebody that's been with the company for 21 years, somebody that hasn't worked anywhere else, Who cares what your name is at this point? It doesn't matter what your name is. The phrase from The Rock will never be more appropriate in this world, because if The Miz is somebody that they're willing to cut ties with, then anyone and everyone should be scared for their job. Now, this whole unfollowing WWE and mentions of WWE, it could be a silent protest because of R-Truth's non-renewal. Maybe it is a sign of things to come, because Gunther did the same thing, but Gunther just signed a new contract, and we are seeing WWE superstars kind of show a little bit of their displeasure. For example, Dominic Mysterio wearing an R-Truth shirt, Rhea Ripley wearing an R-Truth shirt. So there are ways that WWE talent themselves are demonstrating their displeasure with the decision of R-Truth not being re-signed. Maybe this is the Miz's way of doing that. That's me trying to be optimistic here. But I'll be honest, it's a tough time to be optimistic based on everything that we're seeing, unfortunately. John Cena's face during Logan's entrance. Free my goat from this. I saw this circulating too. This is exactly when Logan Paul's music hits. I don't know if this is genuine displeasure or just happens to be a perfect still that encapsulates not necessarily maybe how John Cena feels about this, but how fans feel about this. Because me, you know, wearing a Cena shirt right now, being a Cena fan, I do want Cena to move on from this program. Let's just start our process to go towards Night of Champions, towards SummerSlam, the things that we want our GOAT to do. Let's get back to that. We want the singular storylines, the singular feuds that matter, that have people going after that championship that he's trying to take away from all of us. And right now, this tag team match with Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes just sort of feels like a big-ass filler anime arc. This is literally the biggest BS I've ever seen. Yeah, Slim Jim and WWE have announced a partnership now where there will be Slim Jim logos on the gimmick tables under the ring. Yeah, I saw this too. I'm ultimately not surprised. I think the whole concept of snap into a Slim Jim, snap into a table for Slim Jim, that advertisement spot absolutely makes sense. I do think that this is going to ruin table spots, because now we're probably going to have a table spot every single episode of Monday Night Raw. Wouldn't be surprised if it's contractually obligated for a Slim Jim table to be snapped so that the commentators can say, snap into a Slim Jim. So this might lead to too much of a good thing, because how often do you hear we want tables? We're going to be getting more tables, but we're going to get to the point, I bet, where tables just aren't going to feel special in any capacity because we need to snap into a Slim Jim table. Why does Jey always look like he's dropping a wet one while his opponents do their promos? I've actually noticed this as well. He just always looks like he's in pain. He's constipated. He's trying to let one rip, but it just won't. Like he has to almost 4 letters, 1 word, shit. Telling you now, we're only a year away from WWE doing this. I want to say that this is impossible. I want to say that this will never happen. Then again, all right, the Pandora's box has been opened. I was somebody that said, I don't think it's a big deal that the Prime logo is going to be on the mat. And that really became a slippery slope to the point that now we have Slim Jim tables, all right? If we have Slim Jim tables, the McDonald McChampion of the world is absolutely on the table here, folks. Anything and everything could have branding so long as it adds to the bottom line of good old TKO. Guys, it's not Chad Gable, it's Cameron Grimes. We didn't think about this, all right? I thought that it meant cool guy, but Cameron Grimes, maybe it's Chelsea Green. Did we ever think of that? I don't know. Some people are being weird and saying it's Chad Gable. I think those people are just wrong, stupid, ludicrous, and absolutely insane. Unless you are a catchphrase, you get nothing. Is that it? One of the top merch sellers getting pops on the main event, managed to get himself over and somehow didn't get into the Money in the Bank qualifier match. What more does Kross have to do? I don't know. I don't know. You know, I go back to a few months ago when Triple H said that he doesn't listen to the fans online, that he only listens to the fans that are actually in attendance. And now all I can see is hypocrisy. I'm sorry. I have to call it how it is. I know that people see me as a WWE employee that has nothing but good things to say about the WWE, but I have to call the hypocrisy out when I see it. If we only care about the fans in attendance, the fans in attendance are telling you that they want Kross, not just with their pops whenever he appears on screen for 5 seconds, but with their actual literal money. They are buying his shirt left, right, and center. Karrion Kross is helping you make money. The fans are screaming with their wallet and with their voice that they want Karrion Kross, but still nothing, because you can create your viral moments, you can get crowd reactions, but if you aren't the guy that they want that reaction to be from, then it doesn't matter. I'd be hyped for anyone but Rhea Ripley. I'm just hyped for this match in general. I think that this is going to be maybe the best women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I know that people don't want Rhea Ripley. I just don't think that the Money in the Bank should be given to Rhea Ripley because she doesn't need it. It's a redundancy to give somebody that is perennially in the main event picture, in the title picture, a device that is used to put you in the main event picture. Why give that to her when she's already there? I'll tell you why. Branding. We've been talking about TKO left, right, and center. Do you think they're not salivating at the idea of selling Mommy in the Bank briefcases and Mommy in the Bank shirts? Because those things would sell like crazy. I do agree that Rhea is the worst available option, but I think for TKO, it might be the best, unfortunately. This is gonna cook so hard. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this. I'm already seeing people complaining that Rhea Ripley's not gonna put over the younger talent, Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer is older by multiple years, by the way. I just want to clarify. But either way, this is such a huge vote of confidence from the WWE. They're already putting Stephanie Vaquer against WWE's biggest draw in the women's division, one of their biggest draws in general that they have across the entirety of the WWE. And that bodes nothing but good news for the future outlook of Stephanie Vaquer's career on the main roster.
Some of my peers are not happy that I get these shots so quickly in my career.
Somebody in WWE thinks that his peers have a problem with his position in the company.
In your simple brains, you think I'm here because I go viral. You see the numbers and you think that's why I'm here. The reason that I'm given these opportunities is A, because I'm fantastic, but B, because I've been getting those impressions for a decade now. And with those impressions comes an audience.
No one has a problem with his position. The problem is that for some people who have put 20, even 30 years in, they were told that there was a certain skill set that they had to acquire. If people were told when they went to professional wrestling schools that they had to build a brand outside of the company in order to position them better, to have the opportunities that they could knock out of the park, that's exactly what they would have done. Now for some of those people, it's too late. So I asked that person, what are we supposed to do?
Okay, so I have a couple of comments on this. I totally get the frustration that Karrion Kross is lining out because the WWE and the powers that be, it does feel like they've changed the rules of the game. You thought that the rules were A, well now guess what? The rules are B. And the best way to get over is to follow the rules of B. But if you spent 30 plus years becoming good at following rules set A, then all of a sudden it does become an impossibility almost to get over with rule set B. Here's where I kind of disagree with what he's saying just a little bit. He did say that, hey, if we knew that we had to get over outside of the company, that we had to become popular elsewhere, that's what we would have done. He is talking about how Logan Paul became famous and popular outside of the WWE and then brought that fame to the WWE. I don't think that this works as an argument because most people that achieve the popularity of Logan Paul outside of the WWE would never bring that to the WWE. Logan Paul is just a weird phenomenon where he became uber mega rich, super mega popular outside of the WWE and brought that to an almost full-time basis to the WWE. Most people that achieve that wouldn't come to the WWE in the first place. But there does sort of seem to be this expectation now that you need to bring some sort of like major asset outside of your traditional professional wrestling skill set in order to be seen as a major player or be seen as a profitable asset in the current day of WWE, and that kind of sucks ass. Because Karrion's right, like what are those old timers that have been there forever, what are they supposed to do now? Like they spent their whole life building one particular skill set, and now they're being told that the skill set to be successful is not the one that they spent time building. I can't believe WWE is actually redoing this Ring of Honor Classic. Yep, I see no Photoshop here. I see just a legendary photo right here. You guys should go back and watch CM Punk AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano. Legendary triple threat, maybe amongst the best of all time back in the early 2000s. R-Truth just made an OnlyFans. And this is why this man's amazing. Even in the wake of being let go by the WWE, this guy is still knocking it out of the park, being completely self-aware of how like the situation that he's in, and how we tend to perceive this situation for most people that get released. This guy is genuinely a genius when it comes to his comedy. Well, the SmackDown tag team division is amazing, and I'm happy that the Wyatts are back, but where's Pretty Deadly? Am I wrong in saying that they've been ghosts since Mania? You're not wrong. They're definitely suspiciously missing, and nowadays, whenever I see somebody not getting TV time, it's immediately like just cause for concern. But what I'm hoping is that maybe they're going to be the jobbers of the tag team division, because when I look at how WWE has set up the SmackDown tag team division, they've been showing just all contenders. They've been showcasing all these teams as if they have a chance to win the tag titles, whether it's Street Profits, Wyatt Sicks, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and Fraxium now. Well, these guys can't just constantly beat each other. I think they're going to need a team to beat up, and I think that's, sadly, for Pretty Deadly fans, is going to end up being Pretty Deadly. Can't unsee it. A male strip club owner, his bodyguards, and his accountant. Okay, all right, moving on. How watching WWE has felt lately.
Where's the love?
Dude, I feel that. Where is the love? That hurts deeply in my soul, because I feel that. R-Truth and Carlito are released, but don't worry, guys. Hikuleo will be debuting in 5 years for Bloodline 12.0. Bro, where the hell is this guy? This post reminded me that Hikuleo is signed to the WWE. This guy might have the greatest job ever imaginable, aside from being a third-string NFL quarterback, because he's just getting to sit, just watch, and make bank. It's time to settle the battle. Which is better, Yeet or yeah? Yeet, yeah, Yeet, yeah. I'm gonna go with yeah. He told us, but we didn't get the message. Man, I'm going to kick myself because I was not able to get a Ron Cena shirt before they sold out. I'm gonna have to try and buy one aftermarket, or maybe they'll replenish it, or maybe there will be some sort of like Temu website that will do a bootleg version of this. But yeah, man, this is sad, especially knowing that this unknowingly was his farewell. Triple H reportedly not a big fan of the Money in the Bank prop. Well, that's maybe like the most obvious thing, since we need oxygen to breathe or water to be able to stay alive, because for the most part, Triple H has been pretty lazy with the Money in the Bank concept, with how he uses it. Most of the time, even though the cash-in could be cool and successful and it's great, the lead up to it always, for some reason, under Triple H has made whoever is holding that briefcase look like a giant dumbass. Oh shit, drop your name and predictions. So Mariah May, ladies and gentlemen, has now debuted in the WWE. And by the way, I don't want to see any Tony fumbled comments when it comes to this, because Tony did not fumble. He treated Mariah May like a megastar, pushed her to the moon, was in what I think is the greatest women's program that I've ever personally seen in professional wrestling, alongside Tony Storm. He did everything right with Mariah May. Mariah May just always had her sights set for WWE, and here we are. She followed her heart, and now she is in NXT, and I think it's just a matter of months maybe for her to be on the main roster. In terms of her name, I would hope that they keep Mariah May, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I know that some people were joking about it being a different month, like Mariah December, Mariah June, Mariah March. I joke that it could be MM Mateo, which would be the funniest shit ever. It's probably going to be like Mariah or Mary May or some, I don't know, dude. The problem is not the show hours, it's the slow, horrible booking. Yeah, so the news that SmackDown will be remaining for 3 hours, like I'm bummed about it, because SmackDown has not been worth the 3 hours that I sit down to watch it for. I was actually kind of excited for it to go back to 2 hours. I'm hoping that with this extra time, WWE maybe puts a little bit more tender love and care into booking a proper 3-hour show, because since January, they've not been able to do that. Like it always feels like when we get to at the end of hour 2, I groan and I'm sad that there's a whole hour left. Will the Wyatt Sicks make watching SmackDown more enjoyable? I think that it's the SmackDown tag team division that has the ability to make SmackDown more enjoyable, because that extra hour gives the WWE the ability to showcase more, and that more that I think they should showcase is the Wyatt Sicks and the rest of the tag team division. There shouldn't be a single week moving forward where we don't get major matches and progression of the tag team division with all of the extra time that SmackDown has now.
Yo, Jacob, can we go over our match tonight? You know, I got some ideas.
I'ma beat your ass, coast to coast, post to post. You want smoke?
we can pop up like toast. Gas, no breaks with it. Cut the grass to see the snakes in it. I'ma send you to hell, cause I'm raw and uncut off the scale. They put me in power, you saw my life for an hour. Don't need no Tommy to turn you ghost, cause I'm like that, like a double tap on a post. No!
I don't know how to respond to that. I'm sorry?
You know what I mean? 5, 2, no!
Okay, that was amazing. Nate, fantastic content creator. Please check him out. There's his handle. That was brilliant. That is exactly how Jacob Fatu talks. They all believe in Joe Hendry. Visited my grandma's nursing home today and decided to bless the lounge area. Okay, you know what? 5 points for Gryffindor. That's awesome. God, I miss 2015, 2016 Finn Balor. Here's the thing. I think we might get a revival of this, but not a revival with Finn Balor. Something tells me that we're going to get a 2015, 2016 Finn Balor-like push in the women's division with Stephanie Vaquer, so keep a lookout for that. It's going to be door frame rules. Dude, this is maybe the dumbest new meme in this community. Santi's viewers, I want your door. Where did this even begin? Like my Twitch comments always are talking about me giving away a door, taking my door, that I've already done many door giveaways, people claiming that they've received the door from me. Even this comment section is probably going to be full of people asking me for my door. I'm not doing a door giveaway. I'm never going to do a door giveaway.
What are you doing?
Oh my God. All right, moving on. What do you mean by this, Santi? Here we go. I'm getting clipped out of context again. Let's see. It's a shame that it was put under such a time crunch. Seems. I hate it here. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching today's WWE Reddit video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Goodbye. Get out of here.